Little Debbie cupcake.
We'll
I
get
love it, man.
not.
Not healthy, but hey,
I mean, you gotta
I
take
still own my 8 pack. Believe it or not. Well, what's no 4 pack, 2 pack? Yeah, that.
a 2 pack. Okay, 2 pack. Make sure. But yeah, I mean, you gotta be careful with little Debbie's. But yeah, just making sure. But yeah, we're starting the first podcast. I'm your host Quan. We got Edge on the screen eating the Debbie cake. Usually, I'm drinking some kind of soda. 'Cause I'm trying to go for goals too. And
Nice.
another podcast. This will be, he
Oh
got
wait, that counts as a sponsor. Nice. If anybody's working with Nice, look,
uh,
look.
yeah. Any anything that we're eating, yes, please make sure that's like a light sponsor to us. And yeah, if we happen to get a deal, you might, I don't know, you might see us start drinking or wearing certain clothing just to be like, hey, we're representing this today.
Yeah, there you go.
But
Hey, I'm looking at that option too. So I got a couple of little feelers out there. So don't give up on that yet.
fair enough. Fair enough. I'll keep that in mind. We'll keep that in mind. So let's see, got on this episode number 12 now. I officially got, I guess, I don't want to say a proper editing schedule, but like managed to grind out my editing so that we can possibly get it to where we don't have any like no, I guess, miscommunication of like, is this episode or this episode? Nope, this is the official 12th episode we're doing. So then we'll see this
Number
number
12.
12 right there. And
I
today
didn't do that back. I didn't do that backwards. That's not 21 on the screen of people watching.
it's probably all right. Yeah. I think they'll probably understand. They'll probably get what you're trying to go for just a little bit. But yeah, for this episode, I think the topic we're just gonna. I don't want to say fire off the hip, but we're gonna kind of go for movies that are pretty much what we classified as fun for everybody horror movies. And what I mean by fun for everybody is yes, the horror movie can be gory. Yes, the horror movie can be scary, but we want to make sure that when they get done watching this movie, that they feel good after watching the movie. Like well, I have to think about
Maybe.
maybe okay,
Maybe.
maybe.
So here's my problem. Here's
Okay,
my problem.
okay.
I can't put the word horror and comedy together because when I think of horror, and I had to look it up, this definition fits what I think of horror is painful and intense fear, dread, or dismay. And you can't put comedy in any of that. So when I look at comedy in a movie like that, I try to think of it as maybe scary. Like scary's different. You can be scared and still have a laugh. So that's kind of where I'm gonna put it in.
So
The
fun.
movies I'm gonna be mentioning are scary
So
movies.
no, fun and funny are slightly two different things. Yes, they still have same syllables, and yes they can go along with each other. But funny and fun. What I mean by fun is like I said, is like for instance, you still get a nice jump scare. You still get those intense moments. But like I said at the end, like first at the end of the movie, you had a mostly you enjoyed the experience. Yes, was there tense experiences? Yeah. Was experiences that made you jump? Yes. And in the movie, it's like kind of like that feel good end note where it's like, okay, like, and that's why I specified with this. What I mean by fun is that pretty much where it has a positive ending, pretty much the good triumphs over evil kind of movie, that kind of thing. Now, granted, funny or comedic satire movies can be included on that. And I'll try to specify what I mean by that. So, I mean by a fun horror movie that kind of ends it on a good note. Let's see. Ends it on a good note. Even though there might be some grief about it. Aliens. Second, yeah, after the Alien movie, Aliens, which is still maybe classified as like an action horror in a way, but still has some good jump scares. Has like the xenomorphs still doing their thing. Even has the surprise creature of spoiler alert, the queen. But at the end of the movie, we see the heroine defeat the queen. They survive. They go to sleep. They have a good night's sleep. Ending of the movie, right? Would you classify that as a fun horror movie?
I don't think so. I mean, definitely not on my list. Oh, but I guess when you kind of see it here the way, the direction I'm going, I guess you'll see maybe where our differences may be on that. But I know I don't necessarily. I mean, I guess you consider it fun because it was a interesting movie. It had its quirks, but they all seem to do that. Let's put it this way, and this ain't on my list, but Scream has a
Right.
lot of funny moments in it because the characters are just normal, everyday people.
Yeah.
Most of them are teenagers, for a matter of fact. Not to
Yeah.
spoiler alert for anybody, but they are getting tripped up. They're getting kicked down. Their heads are getting bopped in the walls. It's pretty funny to watch them tumble over tables, and stuff. So
Hmm.
it has its comedic value, but it's not a horror comedy by any stretch of the imagination. But if I had to think of a movie that I remember that I laughed in, that was a scary movie. That was it. But that's not what I was going for. I was going for a movie like Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is kind of has its scare moments, but for the most part, it's a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy, but it's still on this list. In fact, like I said, they go hand in hand because so on this list, for good examples, Scream, which I actually think that's on my list too. Scream is a good example of the movies I'm going for that I classify as fun or entertaining, but kind of feel good at the end horror movies. But Beetlejuice can be on that list too because the horror comedy side, the parody side of it all. So that
Right.
that's what I'm going for, and that's why this list, or that's why like today, even though I don't want it to be too long, but pretty much that's why today we can pretty much jump around with all those kinds of movies because people can pick and choose whether they want to be really really funny with a slash of horror, or whether they want to be still serious, but they don't feel like they don't want to they don't want to feel sad at the end of the movie. Like good
Right.
example, good example, The Mist. The Mist. Awesome movie, awesome horror movie, but
Very depressing.
that ending though, that
Very depressing.
yeah,
Still depresses me to this day.
you watch that ending too many times, you might need therapy. We'll say that, but that
The
is
Mist is actually on this list with a fun ending. I'm like, what in the world?
no. I'm saying The Mist is a bad example of what should be
No,
on.
I know, but it's on this list I'm looking at. I can't believe it. I'm like, what are y'all thinking? This is crazy. Anyway,
That's why I'm going off the top
yeah,
of our heads mostly because yeah,
I know. I get
I
that.
was saying
Don't
something
put the
stupid.
Mist in a comedy
You know,
movie,
yeah,
people. So yes,
yeah. I said, don't put that in. Don't put it down the list because I'm like, yeah, that ending's gonna mess you up. That ending's not gonna be good. So yeah. For instance, movies that can either be comedic or very entertaining, and at the end of the movie, you feel good about it.
and Beetlejuice is number one. If I had to put a list, it's definitely on the Mount Rushmore of comedy horror movies.
I mean,
Love
like
Beetlejuice.
not just comedy horror, but yeah, comedy horror movies.
Yeah,
I like it.
gotcha.
For me, I guess comedy horror for if we're gonna go into that sector before we start bouncing back and forth. Um, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Have you seen
Yeah, I had that. I had that on my list too. Right. That's
a good one too?
yeah,
That's
definitely.
on top of my list of like horror comedies for real. Like when you all see that movie, it's definitely like it takes. We'll say it's usually it takes one direction, then goes into another direction, but it's all not only for the fun of it, but just like the fact of like how coincidences and also looking how something looks like is way different than how it actually is. That's basically
Right, of course.
comes across with that movie because
And
there's
that movie has its cult following as well. So
yeah, movie has a cold following too. But yeah, for Tucker and Dale versus Evil, that's one of mine for comedy. Now, every
yeah,
movie we mention, we'll specify whether it's like horror comedy or horror with a possibly positive good ending. So we'll say that. So another movie.
this movie is actually really well made, and it's British, but and we love zombies. Gotta love Shaun of the Dead. Shaun of the Dead is great. I mean, it's like you talking about another cult classic, and it's pretty funny.
Shaun of the Dead.
So yeah, if you haven't watched Shaun of the Dead, everybody needs to watch that one and put it on their list of
Yes.
scary funny movies to watch.
Yes. Good horror effects. Yep, I like that. Yeah, good great effects. Oh yeah. That's definitely on that list. That's and just that dynamic duo of like Simon Pegg and his friend, like they went through so many other kinds of movies now that it's just like, but it's just that one movie that started to ring them all. That one movie that started to get them. Let's see another movie that. rings to mind. Yeah, it's actually. Let's see. I haven't seen the third one, but I can definitely back the first and the second The Conjuring movies. The first and the second The Conjuring movies. A lot of jump
Okay.
scares, deep spiritual stuff going on. Good scares, but it has a nice, pleasant ending. Everyone's like pleasantly ending. Besides the fact that that some of it is based on stuff that actually has happened, and then of course you know. But like I said, I can only go to those two because I haven't seen the third one. And then, of course, me and Edge already know. Rumor has it there is a final chapter that should be coming out this year, if not, hopefully next year. So that's that going on. But
Hey, real quick, not to jump completely off our list here, but
Mhm.
and why? Because while you're on that topic, Saw 11 is canceled. So right as of right now, Saw 11 is not going to be made.
I saw that, and I think I might have put it in. No, I didn't put it in. I didn't put it in one of our episodes, or I didn't put it in the last episode. I think, but I did kind of saw that, and I was like, "Oh man, I guess right now Saw 10 is the last
The
one."
ending, so to
Yeah,
speak.
sort of see.
Prequel. Yep.
Mhm.
Still really, really well made though.
Oh no, it's really well made.
10 was slow, but it was really well made. You got to watch 10.
You gotta watch that. I know 10's on my list. 10's on my list though. All right, another one on your list.
The Toxic Avenger. If you haven't seen that one, it's really good. Again, it's a little gory, so you have to keep that in mind as you get ready to watch it. But anytime you got a janitor named Winston Goose, how can you get away from that movie? That movie's great. It's definitely has its funny moments.
I think I've heard
It's
that
again another cult classic. Watch the Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger. I think I've heard about that.
Yeah,
Well,
you got to
and
watch it.
some of the new stuff that's happened. Yeah, Toxic Avenger. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good.
Trying to see when that was made, but I don't have a year on it. So carry on. Sorry.
Let's see. Let's see. No, you good. You good. You good. You good. No, I'm reaching in like yeah, yeah. I'm reaching like classic B movie horror that was also weirdly popular. You ready for this?
Yep. Run it
An-
on me.
Anaconda.
Yeah, yeah. That was pretty funny. Yeah, that.
Yep.
I mean, it's almost to the point it was stupid
Yep.
to make it funny, but yeah, I
Mhm.
got that. Is that Ice Cube and
Ice
yeah,
Cube and Jennifer Lopez. I was like their
yep,
first. Oh, no, no, it wasn't their first big one, but it's like yeah, I want to say it was right after their first big one because probably with Ice Cube that was like right after him doing Boys in the Hood, and then of course J Lo. That's probably a little bit after her doing uh Selena, maybe. It was like in the
maybe
1990s. Like yeah. It was a nice
right.
one, but yeah, that's pretty much B horror movie, and there was like even like you even had like Owen Wilson in there. That was like famous for saying like wow,
Wow, that's right.
yeah. The song made a meme off of him, but yeah, that's a B creature movie, y'all. Like pretty much giant anacondas in the Amazon, which you know one half they are real, the other half for them to be like that big in real life in the movie,
Right.
we see it as like that's a little bit far fetched, or so we hear. So we hear.
And again, you have to be in the jungle to be able to be affected by those things. Like if you're in your home and Loganville, Georgia, that's not going to be happening. So
Yep.
somebody kind of like with your whole theory last video about Jason, you have to be at Camp Crystal Lake to have him affect you. Same thing goes with anacondas. Just get out of the jungle. And plus, I think I could outrun a snake. I'm sorry,
Ooh,
no
I don't know.
offense.
I don't know. With, I mean, you can outrun things on ground, remember, but remember, these snakes can also
That's
swim.
right. That's true.
You gotta
That is
be good
true.
for them to swim. So yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I don't get in the water. I'm no water guy here, so
I'm
no
about,
water for me. Yeah.
I'm about the same, so I'll be with that. All right, your turn.
I've got so many on my list. I just started thinking about all these and started going through them, and I don't even know where to go now. But how about you got to put Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 2. I don't even know how many of these have been made, but they're satires of scary movies or horror movies, and they are so stupid. I mean, they're all stupid. But I guess I would, if I had to go back and think about it, I think Scary Movie 2 might have been better than Scary Movie 1. But
Yep.
they are all
Oh,
very, very campy, very,
yep.
very cute.
The
They're not
scary,
scary at all to me.
yep, the scary movie series, y'all, is definitely like the biggest and I want to say one of the best like horror movie satires for real, for real. Like,
Right. It is
and
completely.
definitely from what I remember, because I've seen a few of them myself. I do think that yeah, Scare Movie 2 was the best out of all of them. Like Scare Movie 1 was good, and Scare Movie 2 were just like perfect satire,
Right.
perfect jokes, perfect everything.
Right.
Every scary movie after that was starting to get to that corny stage, you know? It was like
Right.
funny but corny to like some of the jokes didn't knock too hard. So it's yeah, it's so yeah, no.
Exactly.
If you want to watch good horror movie satire to where like pokes the correct amount of fun at a bunch of horror movies, see Scare Movie, but definitely see Scare Movie 2. Scare Movie 2
Yeah,
was the
what's up? Remember that? You got to do that.
yeah.
What's up? That's great.
That's what started that. That movie right there was like
Oh, that's great.
calling your home, calling your buddies, going like, "What's going on? What's up? What's up?" Like,
What's up?
it was
Yeah,
great.
stick the tongue out. Yeah, that's great. Great stuff, man.
Oh my
Was that one the Wayans brothers? Was that Sean Wayans? I think did that, and one of the other ones. But yeah, Sean Wayans I think made
yeah,
that popular.
I think all three. I think the three Wayans done it. Like, yeah, it was definitely
Maybe you're right.
yeah. It wasn't
Very
the
good stuff.
yeah, it wasn't the other yeah, it wasn't the I don't want to say the older one, but yeah, it wasn't the older
No, no,
one
no,
I'm thinking,
no.
but it was
Wasn't
definitely
Marlon?
like
No, wait.
yeah, yeah.
It was a very good movie.
It was like Ivory Wayans, I think. Horror satire. Definitely for sure. Let's see here. For me, trying to see what direction I'm gonna go in now. Scary or for satire. Let's see. Oh yeah, I gotta cook. I gotta cook a little bit here. I gotta cook a little bit here. Let's see. Actually, no. Bringing back Deep Rising because Deep Rising is fun. It's all bunches of fun. You know, fun reactions, fun horror monster. You know, deep sea monster.
Right,
And then, of course, even though the ending, I'm trying to think, even though the ending, I guess, wouldn't be 100% classified as, positive, at the same time, the reaction and just like how the movie played out, it's very, I want to say it's scary, but also it's very lighthearted. Like, there's a lot of jokes in there, there's a lot of like comical reactions that kind of like,
right. The reactions are really well in that
yeah,
movie, so
that
kind of made the movie actually.
yeah, that melts you over a little bit. So yeah, definitely like Deep Rising for sure. That's also my homage, y'all, just like how much I love that movie because I literally grew up watching that movie and it's
Right,
still to this day one of my favorites. So yeah, but yeah, that's all mine right there. That's like the almost the perfect horror movie that had satire, good scares, good creature, creativity, and then of course you could walk out the you could walk out in the movie going like, oh, that was fun, that was great, that was good to look at, that was good to watch.
no doubt, no doubt. I like Deep Rising. Very good movie.
Go, your turn.
Oh yeah. So next I'm gonna go. So I put Beetlejuice as my number one comedy slash horror slash again not I only like to use the word horror now again scary. Number two would have to be Gremlins. Gremlins has this good feel to it because it's got a couple kids in it. It's got the little fuzzy character in it everybody loved, and then it turns into the bad character, but again, it has a good ending to it. One and two, both of them were box office successes. I'm surprised they haven't made a three on that one yet, as big as it was. But yeah, very very good movie. And for those who want to started a bit, started a horror movie genre. That those I don't even know if we mentioned the first time we were mentioning movies to start with. That would be one I think you could definitely start with is Gremlins.
Oh yeah, Gremlins is definitely like yeah, definitely fun and definitely like kind of sets the tone for it, but it's not 100% serious on its scares. But you can
Right,
the thought of that could be lightly scary. Like especially with
right,
when it gets to multiples of like those things that can definitely be like something you
exactly.
don't want to
I was
deal.
trying to remember what was it called before it turned into a gremlin. I can't remember. It had a
With.
name. The little
Yeah,
fuzzy, cute thing
mhm,
had a name. In
it
fact,
did.
it was very popular, sold
Yeah,
well in stores. I just can't remember his name, but yeah. Mogwai. Mogwai.
yeah,
That's it.
Mogwai. Yeah,
Mogwai.
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 Yeah, there you go.
Mogwai. 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 That's what I guess. Yeah, yes, good movie. Everybody watched that one. It's good, good ending, good movie, good fun movie. Good one of those movies that actually went to theaters, box office success type things. Yep, there you go.
Really? Nice, nice.
I've got a couple more. That'll be about it. I don't know how much time you got left,
Oh
but I
no,
got a
you
couple
good, you
more
good, you
left.
good. I mean, we're doing pretty good on time. Like, yeah, it's just like for me,
Good
it's
deal.
like it's a mixture between like I have the idea, and also it's like, oh, it went away because I think I got to a certain point. But yeah, let me think. I mean,
Awesome.
going on to the horror horror satire part. I mean, even though Mike hits a lot of slack, I did think Beetlejuice was pretty good for it coming back.
It did. It did a good job.
It
Did
did a
good.
good job, good a good feel. I mean, yes, as usual, you can't beat the first one because the first one was the originator. Like with most good movies, but like I did think, bottom line, it did do pretty good. It was very enjoyable, you know, and just like just as usual, it as horror satire. I want to say it would be a bad idea to have some of those things happen in real life, but as you know, it didn't. It's a horror movie, so yeah, it's a horror satire movie. So there you go. I dubbed the second Beetlejuice right there. I dubbed it pretty well.
Perfect. They put this movie on the list here, and I don't think I was trying to remember. I mean, it's a fun movie to watch, and maybe that's why it's on the list.
Mhm.
But it had its gory parts. So it was really, really adrenaline driven. But Ready or Not, I don't know if you've seen Ready or Not yet. I told you it was really, really good. Where a couple got married, and the woman that got married into the family
Yep.
had to play a game, and that game was this particular game was called hide and seek. She
Yep.
had to go hide. She thought, hey, this is fun. This is great. I see, no, they're seeking to kill you. And you were wondering the whole movie, was the husband in on it? Was he not in? Was he trying to save her? It's a really, really, really well done movie. Like I said, I had never heard of it. Watched it on, I forgot even what I watched it on a few weeks back, and it's really, really good. So you want to, I get it. I don't know if I necessarily call it fun, especially ending was something, but yeah, it ended well. It ended well. So you were happy with the ending, except for the way it ended. I guess was kind of weird, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, good movie. You put that on your list to watch for sure.
Oh no doubt. I dig that. I dig that. And yeah, that's. I think we've talked about that. I think you mentioned that a few times too. But yeah, definitely got to like watch the whole thing, but I can definitely feel the vibes from that. But, like,
Right,
that one for
really good
sure.
movie.
That one for sure was pretty good. That was there. That one's good for sure. Um, let's see.
I've got like two
Quiet,
more is all. Two more. Yeah.
Quiet Place 2, the second one. And the reason why I say the second one is still had the same scares, same kind of scares, plus with new elements
Right.
from the first one. But that ending, I want to say that ending it kind of hits me in the feels a little bit in a good way, because have you seen it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
'Cause-
I've seen it as
well,
soon
I
as it came
mean,
out.
so I don't know if so. For me, and I'm about to get like deep in here, y'all, just lightly deep. I promise. I'm not gonna go too far. But the ending of that movie, and I'm gonna see if you, I don't know if see if you see it, if you remember it just as well, Edge. It's like the ending of that movie. That was such, I want to say, not only a positive but empowering ending because it literally showed, if you remember, how in the beginning the kids were scared of the creatures.
Right.
Then the end of the movie, now they're killing the creatures. And not only killing it,
Right.
you see it like from not only the sister's point of view that she finally could able to kill this thing, but you also see it from the little brother's point of view who was so scared and so worried and managed to like literally get the guts to like, no, I'ma maul this thing before it gets to my mom. And I thought that was just so strong to me. That hit me in the feels a little bit. It's like, oh man, that's I'm about to get a tear right here. Like
Yeah.
y'all did
It
pretty good with
it
that.
did. Yeah. That's again that whole series has been really well made and really well done. I thought the third one, day one, was a little slow. I also like the way it ended as well.
Mhm.
Another empowerment type ending.
Yeah.
Where she was going to die anyway of cancer. Why not? They've already did what they wanted to do. They
Mhm.
got onto the island.
Mhm.
They escaped the creatures. Of course, that was before they found out they did escape the creatures in another movie. But hey, this particular movie on day one, I like the fact she took the headphones off with the music could just blare out and they could come get her. I thought it was a
Yep,
great ending too.
yep. Especially since it was like she wasn't afraid anymore, and she
Wasn't
you know,
afraid anymore.
got to live, got to live, an awesome life, even when things just went down south really bad, really bad. But yeah,
Right.
I can go with that. I can go with that. Let's
So
see.
when it comes to fun horror movies or fun scary movies,
Mhm.
we've mentioned this one before, so I won't spend too much time on it. But you got to put Tremors on that list. Tremors is so fun to
Ribbon is a
watch.
good one,
It
yes.
is so fun to watch. It's just where it's set, the way it's made, the visuals, the dialogue between the characters. It's definitely one everyone should see,
Hmm.
and definitely fits right into that. Hey, this is a fun ending type thing. So
Yes, I dig it. I dig it. Indeed, I agree with that. Another one just popped up, and then and this was the one I was like hoping to say earlier, but I guess it escaped me. But it came back now. The Lost Boys. The Lost
right,
Boys.
right, that should be right.
And not
Very well
only
made too.
Yeah, and not only would I specify that as like, a good fun horror movie, especially like near the end of it, it's also, would be classified, I guess, as like a close to like summer movie, because from the feel, people riding around in motorcycles to like even the big dude, in the concert doing all the
Right,
with the saxophone shirtless. I'm just like, okay, you casting summer feels right now. It's definitely hot where you're at. This is definitely totally
right.
where you are right there. But yeah, it's definitely good. So yeah, The Lost Boys. I know they made a sequel. Please, I haven't seen the sequel, but please see the first one. Please see the first one.
Yes,
Please do that.
definitely.
But yeah, Lost Boys for sure. All right, we got about maybe 1 to 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes.
All right, add on, of course. We I kind of bounced around. I said zombies when I said Shaun of the Dead should be mentioned, but you also got to mention Zombieland. Zombieland, now Zombieland 2, no, not so much,
Yeah.
but Zombieland 1, the original with Woody Harrelson,
Hmm.
very well made, again, very fun show. So yeah, that would be one I definitely highly recommend.
I would agree. Zombieland is very fun. Yeah, I remember I saw that by like renting it for like some friends, and it was still like one of the best rentals because I think the friends I even saw it with were not big on horror, but they pretty much saw that and they enjoyed it. They saw the gore, they felt the tension, but it was like a fun movie to have. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna back that up. Zombieland for sure was definitely fun. I'd say it's definitely a fun movie right there. All right, one more for the road, possibly. One more for the road. Let's see what.
If you're still thinking about that, let me throw one out as a
No,
TV show real fast. I
go
just started
ahead.
watching.
Go ahead.
Um, and it's really good. But it looks like I'm trying to see if it's even going to continue going. So I don't want to mention something maybe started and stopped. But Shining Vale with Courtney Cox. I tell you what, that show is very interesting. Has its scares. It has this weirdness about it. Also, covers some deep issues like depression and things of that nature. So but it is very funny. It has some moments in it you just go, wow, I can't believe they said that. So yeah, it's very funny. It's called Shining Vale, and it's a television series. So get a chance to watch that.
I'll check
Gotta
it
watch it.
out.
Just season three.
That sounds pretty good. Jaws. Jaws just
Yep.
popped with my head. Jaws is pretty good.
Yep.
Creature flick. They killed the creature victoriously and they did a long swim back, or it's assumed, but yeah, it's still pretty good. you know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very good. It's a very good movie.
Very good, very positive. But yeah, I think that's pretty much was a good segment right there. Hit a lot of good movies right there. Good like little comedic satires. Good like movies that even if you do have a movie that was jumpy, that was scary, it's still know that the ending is worth it. Know that the ending is good for it. So keep that in mind, folks. Anything else to add before we possibly dip out?
Yeah, it just looks like Shining Vale has not been picked up for a third season, unfortunately. So it started in 2022. They had another season 2023. They said it wasn't very highly promoted by stars, unfortunately. And that's the channel it was on. But it's a really good show. I'm going to be sad if it doesn't show some type of fitting ending to the show because it's really pretty good. So,
Yeah, no, I feel you with
and we
that.
can add that as a further episode of maybe fun horror type, scary type TV shows to watch as well.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We definitely can get to that segment. I still gotta get to certain horror movies that I promised I'd watch before any other important big horror movies that come out in theater soon. Because I know this weekend, pretty much we're probably going to try to go see The Woman in the Yard, which
Yeah, the Woman
comes
Yard looks really good.
this weekend. And then of course that'll be the end of March, which means when April hits, most anticipated Sinners is going to be hitting soon, and we're definitely gonna be in theaters for that one. So I'm definitely gonna give my details to that. But
Right, gotta watch Sinners. That's gonna be really good. Michael B. Jordan and
oh yeah, oh yeah,
crew. It's gonna be really good.
oh yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. But yeah, folks, that's where it's gonna be the end. Usual. If you like this kind of content, if you like the info, the wisdom that me and Edge are giving y'all, so y'all can be future horror junkies, the spooky junkies, all that stuff. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. We already got one. We got a few views. Please keep that going, and we'll keep going off with these awesome topics to get you more interested in horror. And maybe, as usual, one day we might have a moment where we can have y'all maybe have an open discussion about horror and see how far it goes. But
Yeah, open discussion would be great.
that's the hope. That's for hope. That's for hopes. And we can always do discussion in the comments. So if you have an idea, please comment. But other than
Yeah,
that,
comments would be great.
yeah,
Comments would be great.
I'll definitely dive into the comments with you. But as usual, we're about to dip out. I'm your host Quan. Got Edge right here.
I almost
Stay
lost out
spooky.
there. Yeah.
Stay horror.
See ya.
Deuces.
This is later.